Using Web3 sucks. Not only do you have to manage separate wallets for interacting with the different chains, every new chain has a new gas token that you have to swap and then bridge to even use the apps on that chain. And then when it comes to doing your taxes, when you've interacted with 105 different DeFi protocols over 30 chains, there's not one single tax accountant or tax software that's going to be able to reconcile everything that you've done the past year, which is just going to screw you when the government comes and tries to audit you because you didn't know how to report your taxes. And this problem is only going to get worse. There's new rollup frameworks like Rollchains and Rollkit and Rollapps that are going to exponentiate the number of chains that you could interact with and that your assets or your wallets could touch. And this experience is just getting more and more fragmented. And no, we can't make well, yes, we could make a new chain that like unifies all of this and connects to all of these other chains, but it's just going to get bogged down like we've seen with major chains like Ethereum or Solana or any blockchain, because they all have the same scalability issues. And we need one place to interact with all of these chains. And this is why we've created myOS. So myOS gives you, it's an operating system for blockchains that sits on a personal rollup that will put you at the center of the interchain. So you use this one rollup to initiate any transaction on any chain, but all originating from your rollup and executed over IBC. So this gives you access to any chain connected in the overarching IBC ecosystem, either directly or via multi-hop. Because the interchain, the Internet of Blockchains, is a network of networks. And so you can interact with one chain that interacts with another chain. And when you do so, your transaction is still originating from one place, giving you one single source of truth for all of your transactions, making it way easier to reconcile your taxes. Not only that, it gives you, myOS gives you one source of identity for all of your interactions with any chain in the overarching interchain ecosystem. And the more transactions that you do with the more ecosystems or the more chains, the more your reputation will be able to become more robust because you have more history, more data behind that. And finally, Web3 gives you full sovereignty and control over your finances, but your finances or your tokens are still held within balances in smart contracts. But with myOS and having a personal chain, you'd be able to IBC those assets over to your personal chain and basically do whatever you want with them. And yes, while as an individual this may not be that advantageous, for businesses to start, it's going to be incredibly advantageous. They're going to be able to run their payroll, their supply chain management, their SLA agreements, their accounting, all in one place, wherein all of their employees have accounts on this chain that they interact with to initiate actions on other chains. How is this possible? We're using Abstract SDK. It is an interchain application framework and interchain application infrastructure that sits on top of blockchains that typically is shared between a number of users. So, for example, on Neutron, everyone would be using the same instance of Abstract SDK, where every user would have different accounts and different applications, but they would share a common namespace and application registry and remote account configuration. With myOS, it puts the full control over Abstract in your hands as a user. And this allows you to run any application available in Abstract or connect with any chain that's also running Abstract and interact with the protocols that are there through our plethora of adapters. And so, yes, personal chains are kind of similar to personal computers in a way. They give you access to the overarching interchain, like the internet, and they allow you to perform computations and run applications locally. And this puts you in full control over your finances. Additionally, with Rollkit, you're able to actually use any existing Cosmos SDK module, and so you can use an account abstraction module to make it so that you can authenticate yourself with various different accounts in any means that you want. And of course, you'd only have to use one wallet to do so, or you can use email or two-factor authentication, anything. Say that you also wanted to automate some of your Interchain operations. You'd be able to install the cron module and then start automating your interactions with external protocols and external chains just by initiating those transactions through Abstract's Interchain infra. Okay. So if we look at the applications that first, came out with the internet, one of the most useful ones and the most used was email. So email allowed you, of course, to have a username, and you can send a mail from your server to someone else's username on another server, as long as they were running the same software. Whether it's a hosted software, like you're running an email server, or if they're running the same software. So as a demonstration of myOS, I have created chainmail, which allows you to send messages to different accounts on different chains connected via Abstract. And so as we can see here, you can send messages to accounts on your local chain. So Abstract gives you a smart contract wallet that you can create more and more smart contract wallets that are fully modular, allowing you to also install applications on those wallets. So you can send messages to accounts on your local chain, whatever. But you can also send messages to accounts on remote chains that are connected via IBC. And so this architecture is it's a bit similar to that in Web 2, where you have a mail server that you connect to that connects to other mail servers, and the servers connects to the clients. So here you can see that account 1 has a mail client installed on it that talks to the server that can communicate with the other servers. And how this works under the hood is that the mail clients talk to the Abstract IBC client that talk to the other chains over IBC. Kind of as a fun fact, before SMTP, the most widely used messaging protocol today, I think it's Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, there was another protocol called UUCP, Unix to Unix Copy, and it allowed you to route messages through Bing paths, by specifying the different servers in the order that they arose, and then the username at the very end. And funnily enough, our protocol actually works the same way, allowing you to route messages through different instances of Abstract by specifying the path, the route that it'll take among those servers. I guess I'd like to perform a little bit of a demonstration of this application. Here we have the IBC Mail repository, and we have a test that we're run here. I have a rollup running on Celestia, my own personal rollup right here, and I've got Abstract deployed on there. Well, I've got myOS, and this email application also deployed on here. I also have a relayer set up between my personal chain and Archway testnet, because it was the only one that I could get working during the hackathon. So in this test, essentially what it's going to do is it's going to allow us to send a message from one of our accounts on the chain to an account on Archway. So I've gone ahead and I've set up an account on Archway, Archway testnet right here. And so if we sign in to the Abstract console, and I will zoom in a little bit, this is a very basic interface that I just made for the purpose of this demonstration and this test. And just so that we have a clean install, let's go ahead and create a new instance of the IBC Mail client. So in the Abstract console allows you to manage your applications as a developer, but also just install them and be able to interact with them normally. So I'm going to go ahead and install this IBC Mail client on my account. This is all auto-generated and probably doesn't need any configuration. So I'll go ahead and click install here. And you can see that this is creating a new account and installing the IBC Mail client and the IBC Mail server adapter. So once this is installed, we'll go look at the account ID, and we will send a message from the, let's finish the setup over here. We can send a message from our personal rollup to this client. And okay, I just refreshed. It looks like some of the state was hanging. But yeah, you can see the inbox is empty and sent is also empty. So I'll go ahead and run our test mail script, which I renamed to send mail, and recipient sequence is going to be 41, as we saw there. And for the subject, we're going to say hello from myOS, and the body is going to be this is a demonstration. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and run the script, the send mail script, and it's going to just go ahead and send that message over IBC. Just for some background, the reason that I am not running the Abstract console on the rollup is because the RPC is not working on the Rollkit rollup, and so I was unable to run the Abstract console on that rollup. But you can see here we have executed on the IBC mail client, and we are awaiting for that inclusion in the BOC. And you can see that on Archway over here, so if we scroll up, that we have seen this message. We've received this message on Archway, and you can see here that I'm asking the destination client, which in this case is Archway, has received this message. And so we can also look at the console right here, where we can see the that message being there. And if you want me to prove this again, I will go ahead and send another message, hello to, from myOS, and this is a second demonstration. And I will go over here and show you that the relayer is going to pick up those packets that were sent over IBC. Yes, eventually. Okay. Yeah, and the cool thing about this is that, there it goes. Any user who has the IBC Mail client installed on their account will be able to message any other user with the IBC Mail client. And so if we go here to the Abstract console again, we refresh here, we can see, yes, hello from iOS. And here's a demonstration of those I guess, messages. And so let's go ahead and send a message back. Let's say, hey, myOS. Oh, wait, how do I prove that this is on Archway? That's a great question. So I will actually create a new tab here and go back to my last account, which was 39, that I was testing with previously. And so, yep. Let's just go ahead and queue up a message. Hello on this, or hello from Archway. And then this is the body. And recipients, let's send it to Archway 39 and click send. And it should pop up. There we go. And approve. And you can see here, big test. And if we refresh, but yep, there we go. Hello from Archway. This is the body. Okay, and now that we've sent a message locally on Archway, which I definitely could prove that there's a transaction there, but I don't know where the Explorer thing went. But let's go ahead and send a message. Hello, Celeswasm. Hello, Celeswasm. Login. That was actually the first message that was ever sent over the internet. Oh, okay. Let's receive to Celeswasm4, which is showing up twice for some reason. We'll go ahead and send this message. You can see that right here, the account is the count is on chain Celeswasm, and it's assigned to go to that sequence 4. I can also introspect this. I could look at this transaction. It comes up. Oh, okay. Well, the Explorer is down, which is great. But we should be able to look and see, Yes, this came from, theoretically, we should be able to see the packets come through. And if we run our second script, which is receive message, from count 4, we should be able to get whatever message that we just sent, which I actually don't remember what I just sent. But we can see if we get it. Hello, Celiswazin, with the body login. Okay, very cool. So we've just sent a message from our Archway instance to our personal rollup instance, and back. And so if we refresh sent, yep, there we go. Hello from Archway and hello Celiswazin. Cool. What else can I show you? Oh, I can also show you. Yes, I wanted to demonstrate a multi-hop message as well. So I have a test right here. Maybe. I have an integration test somewhere. This is the right one, yes. Okay, so can send remote message to hop. So in this test, I'm just gonna walk you through, just so that you understand what's happening. So you can see here, we have Interchain, we set up Juno, Archway, and Neutron. And then we pull out each of the environments here. We enable IBC on each of them. We connect them. So we connect Archway to Juno and Juno to Neutron. So it goes Archway, Juno, Neutron. And then we say, we create a new message. We tell Archway to create a message to send it to Neutron, which is the last hop. And we say test subject and test body. And then we have the Archway client, which is the beginning, send that message to Neutron. And you can see here that this send message actually takes a route, and we are giving the route of Juno and then Juno Neutron. So I can probably just do neutron.parse as well. I'm not sure why I didn't do that before. Then we wait for IBC packet to go through on Archway. This is a mock IBC packet, but also is able to be replicated in an integration environment. And then we list the messages on Archway for received, and we check that it's empty. And then on Neutron, we check that we got the message on Neutron. So let's go ahead and run this test. And I will show you some of the test output. All right, so let's look at this test output. So we get this message. We route the message to Archway. And then, oh wait, no. So we started on Archway, and we routed it to chains Juno and Neutron. We route it to the destination on Juno first, and then we get an IBC message on Juno. So what makes this project special is actually it uses Abstract's new module-to-module communication. So this IBC mail server is a module that's installed on Abstract accounts. And so it communicates over IBC to the IBC server, or to the mail server on IBC, on the remote chain, module. And if we look at the module IBC message here, we can see this module IBC handler that the server gets. And first it checks that the origin is the server, and then it prints the parsed message, which we can see here, once it receives this IBC message. So it's parsed it, it sees like what the sender is from Archway, and then it routes that message by calling the route message method on there. And you can see that it also increments the current hop in the message header. So this is similar to an email header as well that has some information on the message. But you can see that there's the route here and the current hop. And once it's routed that message to the next chain, it gives the target module and whatever. It routes it. And then once it arrives on Neutron, which you can see it here, it routes it to the local account on Neutron. And so on that local account, it checks that it receives the message, and it did. So there you go, IBC Mail. Yeah, and why is this called myOS, my operating system? Well, fun fact, Abstract SDK used to be called Abstract OS, though we had moved away from the terminology as we didn't feel that it was appropriate for the users, or is like relatively easy to misunderstand. But in this context, when you have a piece of software that you deploy on the chain that is agnostic to the underlying hardware or the actual platform, as this functions in any WASM VM, then it is kind of considered an operating system, which supports a computer's basic functions such as scheduling tasks, executing applications, and controlling peripherals. So scheduling tasks, this can be easily done using the cron module, as pioneered by Neutron, I believe, or Juno. Executing applications, which is done by either the user initiating those executions and facilitated by Abstract's infrastructure. Also, application management, user and application management are done by the OS. And finally, controlling peripherals being like networking interfaces like the IBC networking interface, the Hyperlane networking interface, or like Axelar GMP. Its primary function is to interface between the user and the computer hardware, and in this case being the blockchain hardware. There you go. Here's again a reiteration of myOS being a standalone instance of Abstract that's generally meant to be shared amongst many, many users. Yeah, it gives you full control over your accounts, applications, namespaces, the name service, and security and operations. So yeah, thanks for coming to the demo. I guess if anyone was curious as to how this actually routes messages, here's a little bit of here's a UML diagram with the state up here and then the actual methods here. The client, you send a message to the server, which processes it, adds a header, and then routes it to the client on the destination, where it receives the message and then saves that message in its state. Yeah, some improvements to this that I'd really like to see would be sending or batching messages to the server so that the user didn't have to IBC the transaction over themselves. Also, I'd like to add some messages to groups. I think this would be really cool. Okay, so let's talk applications. So it would be really cool if you could send mail messages from a DAO to all the DAO members telling them that a proposal is open and ready for voting. In that proposal body or like in the attachment, you could tell them, hey, these are the given options that you can vote for. If you just send back a message with your preferred option and it'll vote automatically for you. That would be actually pretty cool. It's like you can email suggestions for people to what's it called? Execute. Some other features is that I'd really like to enable sending to addresses like this, so that when you sign the message, you actually can read that recipient a little bit better, as opposed to encoding the account ID and the route in that message. Also, adding attachments such as funds or NFTs. Doing contacts, which we've kind of done in this little front end here in the Abstract console. What else? Oh, I can't find it. Multiple versions of the client, as I'm sure that individuals would like to upgrade their clients. And then, yeah. So, I don't know. If you've enjoyed this little rant because I've pissed off at all of Web3, or are interested in hacking on Interchain applications or Interchain application infrastructure, definitely reach out. We are huge nerds over at Abstract Money, in case you can't tell. and we're always interested in new ideas, new conversations, and we are hiring. So thank you, and this has been Adair from Abstract Money, and peace out.